I'm Davy, and I'm awesome, and welcome to Davy's Awesome Movies, where I review the styles of movies that I love, the alternative, B-rated, cult-style flicks. And this week, I am finally getting to the end, currently, of the sort of Troll series. This one is definitely the newest one. This one was made in 2020. And it was directed, written, and produced by Eric Dean Hortz. Also written by Simon Hauschild and Alexander Koenig. By the way, I'm probably going to be getting all of these names wrong because they're German. It was produced by Alexander Koenig and Eva Habermann, as well as Jörg Stedgumler. By the way, producer Eva Habermann is also the lead in this movie. And the movie was made by Fantafilm and distributed worldwide by Devilworks and Cinedim. Ladies and gentlemen, the fifth and let's kind of hope final installment to the Troll series under ConTroll. The movie opens with, well, someone, we never find out who, telling the story of how we got to this point. About a prince who found a statue of a maiden and kissed it to awaken it, thinking that this was his true love. It wasn't. She ate his soul.
For she was but a troll.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right now. How can this be a sequel to Troll 2 when it's not a goblin?
Oh, George Hardy's in this movie!
Apparently that's how. That's really it. That's how it's a sequel to Troll 2. George Hardy is in this, reprising his role of Michael Waits from Troll 2, even though he doesn't have a big part in this movie, and occasionally they reference Troll 2. But really, this has nothing to do with it. Sequel. The troll, like the goblins in Troll 2, can take the form of pretty much any human it wants. This way, they can save a lot of money on effects. By now, it's taken the form of a woman it captured in order to lure a horny teenager into the woods.
And we will be making gnocchi all night.
This is a German movie that is also self-aware, which will explain the bad dubbing. My bad dubbing can be explained by the fact that I am both a smartass and it's fun. The troll opens the Book of Magic.
Oh yes, touch me.
It speaks! And it's a pervert. The troll wants the book to open a portal for him, but the book requires the blood of a dunce virgin. At this point, the castle guards and the townspeople show up, with a very weird old wizard.
I'm going to free my brothers so they can feast on your flesh.
Apparently goblins are vegetarians, but not trolls. The troll attacks them, but
I'm Schnitzel.
he sounds good. Schnitzel's magic gets the book from the troll, and he uses it to turn the troll into stone. And to keep this troll from ever doing this again, they bury the statue with the book in the same spot. It's not a very good idea, but then again, neither was making this movie. But they do hide the amulet needed to open the book, so I guess that's something. Then of course we get to modern day. There are construction workers digging around and they dig up the statue, which happens a lot in these movies, which makes me wonder how many of these tragedies in these movies could be avoided if, during the Middle Ages, somebody had predicted construction. Of course, when it's reported to the foreman,
You dimwit! You're good for nothing, god darn it! I said dig around it!
the only thing that makes bad dubbing worse is when they do a bunch of overacting that really doesn't match the emotion in the voice. One of the construction workers finds the book and realizes that it has gold on it, so he steals it. While he's trying to get the book open, though, we meet the lead of this movie, Vanessa, played by Eva Habermann.
Sorry! Hey, watch what you're doing, you mother smucker!
You watch your mouth! Ava was on her way to watching a show being filmed.
Are you ready for the inexplicable?
Well, yeah, I'm watching the movie. One of the guests on the show is Michael Waits. George Hardy's in this movie.
You can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
Oh! Yes! Yes! Well, thank you for that. Even though it doesn't make any sense why you would be so self-aware that your line that you said to your son in private is your most famous line from a movie that's not supposed to be a movie in this, I guess. Vanessa finally arrives at the show, where her daughter Natalia and a Dr. Fisher are already waiting for her.
Vanessa, what were you thinking?
She was probably thinking producing this movie would be a great way to get her a leading role. Michael Waits tells his story of some goblins eating his wife.
That sounds like a really, really bad movie.
The worst. The best of the worst. After this, a Miss Tippy calls Dr. Fisher. The construction worker brought her the book. She said it was worthless and gave him $20 for it. And now she wants him to come over because they're trying to open it. They can't. Dr. Fisher is reminded of a legend that he thinks may involve this book, and he wants to take it home with him. But Miss Tippy says only on one condition.
I will take part in your examination.
No, this movie's not a musical, so this really makes no sense. The mayor comes, and after seeing the statue, says it is going to be put on display in a museum and bring pride and honor to the town. However, the guy guarding it
Ew.
is oddly turned on by it. Of course, this leads to...
Ew.
The troll immediately starts eating this man's soul. Then again, this was a guy who was so horny that he was willing to get it onto the statues. So, I think society's done with him. Then we get another random reference to Troll 2. The troll needs a dumb virgin in order to complete his spell, and free his brothers.
Go release your instincts in the forest.
Apparently Natalia's boyfriend fits the bill. The other woman there is Helga, Vanessa's cousin, who's reminiscing with Vanessa about how Vanessa used to be able to get any man that she wanted. Vanessa says she can still get any man that she wants.
Any man?
What a slut!
Good mother. And for some reason this makes the troll think that Vanessa would be the ideal mimic.
You are delicious!
And it also takes control of Helga.
My power reigns, your will is mine!
Then the troll gets a broom and flies on it. For some reason, I was never aware of the legend that trolls use brooms to fly around. I always thought that was witches, but whatever. But it flies this broom to the lake to talk to the king of the lake.
You are a troll!
Which looks more like a villain that Rita Repulsa would have made grow to be like 20 feet tall to fight a Megazord. The troll is making a deal with the king of the lake. If the king of the lake will help him find the book, he'll supply the king of the lake with a baby. Because apparently the king of the lake's favorite food is babies.
This is of prime importance.
No, it's not. This is just to get the movie to 90 minutes. The next morning, the troll, as Vanessa, starts eating the neighbor's trash.
Disgusting!
She's not saying eating the garbage is disgusting. She just read the script. Vanessa and Helga go inside to make a potion. And for no reason, more singing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 8.
Your counting is off. So what was this potion making?
Magic hood.
I got nothing.
As for the nosy neighbor next door,
Something's wrong with you, Vanessa Meyer.
yeah, she's in the movie.
Duh!
The troll uses this hood that makes them invisible to go find a newborn and a mother. And takes the baby.
Oh, coochie, 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 coo.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be what made the baby stop screaming. Dr. Fisher and Tippy are going over the legend of this book. Basically explaining everything we already know because, unfortunately, we've been watching. But hey, anything to get this movie to 90 minutes, right? Even talks about how the troll would have to free its brothers during the summer solstice, which is tonight.
That coincidence is terrible.
Almost as bad as the dubbing and this movie. When Vanessa gets back with the baby, she finds out that Charlie is upstairs with Natalia. So she goes to break it up.
You stay a virgin!
If you really want him to stay a virgin, get him a purity ring. I mean, those always work, right? Natalia looks in her mirror. Parents. The troll then takes the baby to the king of the lake. What makes this subplot even more useless is the fact that when the troll finds out where the book is, turns out the troll would have already known if it had been paying attention. By the way, guess who followed the troll?
My fat neighbor!
Yep. Turns out the amulet to open the book, though, is with the mirror. So Dr. Fisher and Tippy go to get it.
This brooch has been in my family for 700 years.
What kind of a man wears a brooch? The mayor is also depressed because his statue is gone.
The demon is amongst us.
We know. Who do you think made this movie? The mayor gets so worked up that he faints. So I'm kind of starting to understand what kind of man wears a brooch. Okay, just please don't sing about it. Helga gets charged with the task of keeping Natalia in her room.
Yeah, and she's...
Hey look, the poster to a movie that is surprisingly better than this one. And Troll Vanessa finally gets to the book.
I still need the key.
Charlie comes over to help Natalia sneak out. She also tells Charlie about what she saw.
You're not taking me seriously.
How can someone take you seriously when you're doing a spin-off to Troll 2? The troll can't find the key or a way to open the book, so it goes looking for a wizard. Turns out there was a wizard at the same show with Michael Weitz.
Hey, would you ladies like to have a drink with us?
Who is hanging out with Michael?
I can see that this is gonna be a long night.
Yeah, kind of like the night I had, because watching a movie this bad for 90 minutes feels like hours. Vanessa and Helga find out that Charlie and Natalia are next door at a club, so they go to get Charlie. And Vanessa controls him. As far as Natalia, she's grounded. So now Vanessa and Helga go back to get Vladimir, the wizard. Vanessa takes Vladimir with her, but Helga decides she's going to stay with Michael.
Our best film is Troll 2.
Then why did you sully its good name with this piece of crap? And yes, I get the irony of what I just said. Doctor and Fisher go and get the book and decide to open it.
No! Oh, fascinating!
Morons. But just then,
Bravo, my dear friends.
Tippy is saying she's not going to let her take that book because she paid for it. It's her book.
Tippy!
Tippy's over it. But the nosy neighbor isn't.
She's a witch.
Oh! Oh!
Can't believe I'm saying this, but the effects in Troll 2 were better.
I'm not a witch. I'm a troll.
And honestly, so were the masks. Now it's time to open the portal. But they still need the blood of a dunce virgin.
But I'm horny too.
I like...
Done! Out comes the Trolls' brothers.
Let the era of trolls begin!
It already did. Sort of. With this. Then it got some sequels, none of which had anything to do with each other. So they tried again, and made another Troll era, but this time with this, which is doing very well. Then the troll decides to go over and heal Charlie so they can eat him properly.
I just have to activate this key.
Your key looks like a Nerf football. Vladimir is trying to get the spell to work, but he doesn't believe in himself that he has the power to do it. At least not until...
Believe in yourself. You are a real wizard.
That's all he needed. Was George Hardy to tell him to believe in himself. George Hardy, who believed in himself, became a dentist, and starred in the worst movie ever. A little anticlimactic? I mean, I don't know. What do you think? After this, they crush the necklace. It also releases the Marquess, the woman from the beginning.
Which year are we? Is this the Renaissance?
You know, during the Renaissance, they didn't know they were in the Renaissance. I'm just saying. Vladimir is looking in the book and finds a spell to send her back to the Middle Ages. But while he's doing it... So now Vanessa and Dr. Fisher are stuck in the Middle Ages.
Oh my god!
No. Nice try, but it's done like this.
Oh my God!
Yes! Yes! Then there is a mid-credits scene where we find out that Helga, despite how old she is, has finally lost her virginity.
I hate alcohol.
So there you have it. That's the 5th of this series. But closest to a sequel I think we're going to get. Under ConTroll. This movie was definitely low budget. The rumor is that they did this for 900,000 euros, which translates to a little over $1 million. It's entertaining in the sense of people like me who love watching terrible movies, especially watching those movies with other people who like terrible movies, like my brother. You know, we could sit there and have a field day watching this movie. However, it's not as good as Troll 2, the movie it's supposedly a sequel of, simply because it is self-aware. And generally, when movies are self-aware, it's not as fun. Because that was the thing. Troll, Troll 2, Troll 3, also known as Contamination Point 7, and the Creepers and the Crawlers, as well as Troll 3 Part 2, named Troll 3 The Sword of Power, or Quest for the Mighty Sword, or The Hobgoblin, or Ator 3 The Hobgoblin. None of these movies were self-aware. These weren't movies they were setting out to make bad movies. They were just setting out to make movies. I mean, the last two, Troll 3 and Troll 3 Part 2, were made by Joe D'Amato, who was very big on the cash-in genre. But Troll was definitely not an attempt to make a bad movie. They were just doing the best with what they can. And Troll 2 itself, definitely they weren't setting out to make a bad movie, especially considering Claudio Fragoso, the director and writer of that movie, still gets offended if you call it a bad movie. He still thinks it was a good movie. And that is the difference. The best, worst movies out there, movies like Troll 2, Samurai Cop, The Room, none of them were set out to be bad movies. In fact, when we talk about those kind of movies like The Room, Tommy Wiseau has accepted the fact that most people like it based on the fact that it's so bad it's good, but he still denies that it was bad. He thinks it's a good movie. As far as Samurai Cop, Amir Shervin never said anything about it being a bad movie. I think he was aware that it wasn't as good, but he basically blamed it on the fact that he had no budget. However, one redeeming quality is just that. Kind of like the sequel to Samurai Cop 2 Deadly Vengeance. Yes, it was bad. Yes, they knew it was going to be bad. But again, it wasn't like they were setting out to make a bad movie. They were setting out to make a tribute to the movie that they loved, Samurai Cop. In this movie, I kind of get the same sense. The makers of this, yes, they knew they were going to be making a bad movie. Yes, they were intentionally making a bad movie. But overall, they were trying to make a tribute to Troll 2, which is a movie that has a big cult following as being the best, worst movie ever. However, like I mentioned, it's not really a sequel. They reference Troll 2 a lot, but the story and everything about it have really nothing to do with Troll 2. It's its own story, done poorly. And at the end, it did leave itself open for a sequel. But let's hope that doesn't happen. So like I said, I could recommend it to those of you who like to get together with other people who love bad movies and watch it and trash it. That'd be fun. Watching it on your own, not gonna lie, it starts to lag. It's 90 minutes, but it feels like you sit there for 3-4 hours. Because where it does have some funny parts and everything that make you laugh, mostly you're just trying to get through it. But again, get together with some other people, watch it together, make fun of it together. You'll have a great time watching Under ConTroll. But it's nowhere near as good as Troll 2. So there you have it. That's my movie review this week. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of Under ConTroll. Tell me which Troll movie was your favorite, and tell me what you think of all the bad dubbing. Love you guys!